Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Angela Fagg with Messengers of Truth, and there most likely will be some foul language and other things. So this is not for kids. Okay, so today is it's 8:58 May. Oh, you son of a bitch! Thursday, May 8th. All right. This time I made sure I brought my phone because I always forget it. And if you watch me, then you know that I always forget it. So today we're going to be talking about, just for a short minute, I got many things I want to talk about the new, the new idol. That's what I called them. The new idol for Rome, the new idol. And they had to bring the new Babylon, you heard me, the new Babylon into it, which is America. All right? Because this is what they have made us into. So here is this dude. I heard a little bit about him today. I just figured we'd let his picture go up there so you at least get an idea of, well, I'm sure it's already been beaten into you like it has been for the rest of us. I watch the nightly news every night, and it's right on before Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, and I happen to like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Where I'm at, it goes Wheel of Fortune first and then Jeopardy. Up in Orlando, where I grew up at, it was Jeopardy and then Wheel of Fortune. 7 o'clock. Just thought I'd throw that out there. And that is one of the things I wanted to tell you about myself today is I was born in Cape Coral. I was born in Cape Coral, Florida, but I grew up in East Orlando on the other side of UCF, University of Central Florida. I lived there when we first moved there. Alafaya was only 2 lanes. I used to ride my bicycle on the East-West Expressway when it was built in East Orlando. I lived off 50, and it's all grown up there now. Back when I was growing up, it was mostly woods. I actually know the family that sold most of the land to UCF. So that's a little history on Angela. Okay, so this guy's going to be much worse, and he's from the New Babylon. I don't know why nobody else is seeing this yet, or if it's like, if you're blinded or something. I don't know what it is, but what I do know is that we have a lot of things that go on here that have gone on in many different times in history. And Babylon had, the tower, and we have the tower here in Florida. I mean, if you really think about it, we have NASA. And I don't think people really think about that when they're thinking about Florida. Most people think about Florida. Well, I don't know how people up north think about Florida. I know about how the commercials look and how people come here thinking it's all rainbows and sunshine. And they usually like to come down during winter time because, it sucks for winter up north. Is what I'm guessing, even though I never really had to live in that. I have seen snow, but I've never had to actually live in it for a long period of time. I went and visited that guy they called my dad up in Buffalo and was there for like a while during wintertime. It was quite fun anyways. So they say this new Pope guy is actually hung out here a lot in the Cape Coral, Naples. We have like 5 counties that are pretty much, all together, but not all together. We got DeSoto, Charlotte, Lee, Glades, Collier, and it's all on the same local news stations, So down in Naples, they two of the, I don't know what you call them, other preachers or priests or whatever. They came on our local news tonight and they were like, "Oh, we grew up with this new Leo the 14th. I remember when he was 6 years old, we used to tease him, and his whole life he talked about being the Pope and making little jokes about it." And I was like, "That's real interesting, man." And then I started thinking about it and I'm like, this can't, it seems like, and I don't think people understand this, Florida's bad. All right, like there is so much corruption in Florida, it's ridiculous. And people are all like, "Yeah, go DeSantis." And then now this new pope used to hang out here in Naples. I mean, I was never, okay, look. Florida has so many ports, okay? So we get a lot of the bad stuff that everybody's heard about. The people in the containers, the big, large bales of heroin, cocaine they wash up on the shore, and marijuana. I've never found them, but you see them on the news every so often. A lot of things come in here, and there's a lot of Epstein, okay? And it's like, is Florida like the capital for Babylon? Is what I'm starting to think. I'm thinking, is Florida the capital for Babylon? We got NASA, we got, the pedophile stuff that goes on here in Disney, and it's like, everybody likes to praise DeSantis, like I just said, but they didn't get the part where they used $10 million to fight against recreational marijuana, which is the taxpayers' money. So I don't care what they used it. It's the fact that it's taxpayers' money and you used it in ways that we shouldn't be paying for commercials for either side. I don't give a damn if it's for something or against something. Taxpayers, and if we should be able to vote whether or not we want to do that or not. That's just the way that is. Period. But Florida's fucked up. Okay? And then I'm sure you're thinking, well, she's probably going to mention like the hurricanes. Listen, it's the people in general. I used to take the Greyhound bus to go visit my grandma here in Cape Coral from Orlando. Because I was an adult already. But anyways, and some of the stories you would hear on the bus, I would just tell people, that is Florida. You can't trust people here. All right? Like bad stuff is always happening. Bad rentals, bad everything. The water's bad. They poison the shit out of it here. So we'll find out. More stuff will come out about this Pope because he's being jammed down all of our throats. It was just on everything. I went and took a shower and came back out. And on the nightly news, they were still talking about the Pope. They went into like almost a full 10 minutes, which is a long time in a half-hour period. I don't agree with anything in Rome, if you must know. That is just everything. Fuck Rome, okay? I'm not going to agree with anything that comes out of Rome because they're liars. And I should have brought those stories up, but there's lots of stories about the orgies and the drug-filled orgies that go on in Rome. About all the stories everywhere. The one that's in New York, that's a Netflix story, which I should have got that. Sorry, I just, they didn't think I was going to bring it up. Most of the time when I'm starting these videos, I really don't know what I'm going to say until right when I'm saying it. Anyways, but we all know and have heard about the stories of the pedophile rings and all this sick shit that happens in some, you heard what I said, some of these churches. I'm not saying all of them, or maybe we're just blind and it is happening in all of them. And some people are just scared to speak out, which is understandable because when you're raped over and over again and horrible things like that are done to you, there is parts of your person that is taken from you and then you're in constant fear. And they just keep, allowing these things to go on. And that ain't right. Every last one of them should be in jail. And this is my opinion on it, is that I think that these pedophiles and these people that, especially ones that are in higher up offices that are supposed to be enforcing our laws and making our laws, they should be prosecuted to the fullest and some, because you can't uphold a law and then be breaking it at the same time. You should be held fully accountable for everything that you do. Okay? And that's cops, everything. Just like this cop up at FSU. Regardless of anything, that boy used that cop's gun. Took the gun. You're not seeing that all over the news constantly being pounded in your face, but you're seeing this new pope in your face constantly because it's a new idol. Just like the Statue of Liberty is an idol. It's the gateway to Babylon. Well, maybe New York is the capital. I don't know. They got a real tough competition here. New York and Florida. Cops here are dirty, so I'm not surprised when I hear stories of cops doing dirty shit. And it doesn't matter what the dirty shit is. It's if a cop is doing something they're not supposed to be doing, then they need the law book thrown at them and they need to go to jail, and or here in Florida, we execute people. But it needs to be done in an orderly fashion, because you can't tell somebody else to do something and uphold this law if you're breaking all those laws. See, where I come from, we just want to tell you to eat a fucking dick. Okay? Eat a dick up until you hiccup, because why the fuck you coming at me like that, bro, when you breaking the laws too? Okay? And you say, well, Angela, you must have had white privilege growing up. No, I grew up in a trailer park where the cops came by and ran the license plates on every vehicle in the yard that they could see from the road. Every day, every other day, couple times a day. They were constantly harassing us. We didn't even live in city limits. We lived at that time, it was out in the boondocks. Now it's all built up out there. But Florida's dirty. But things are going to get cleaned up. That's why you have to talk about things, is because they got to get cleaned up. And you can't expect me to give somebody in law, regardless of which stage that it is, any type of respect when you're breaking the fucking law. I'm not supposed to break the law, and you throw the book at me and you give me all kinds of fines for shit. And then half the time, these cops don't even want to do their jobs. Like, they're putting cameras up everywhere so people can sit in these buildings and watch you. Fuck. No, dude. That shit ain't right. Okay? Nobody should be watching all of us like this all the time. It's everywhere. You remember how Nancy Pelosi was like, oh, 1984? That's how she did it. Orwell's 1984. It's like nobody's, like, we're cheering on shit for our own demises. Our own like, they're coming for everything. And people right now are praising a deceiver. That's what those people are there. Why won't they give all the information? Why did they go on all those crusades? What were the crusades? Were they just going after Mary and her family? Who was Mary married to? You know, Mary just followed them around, right? The three of them, the three Marys. Who was she married to? Was she standing there pregnant with a child's hand in? Did that happen? Did she go to France afterwards? Where are the 300 shields of David at? Weren't they given to the Spaniards? They were called something else all those years ago. These are just things to think about. Didn't God say Jesus is going to have a family? I'll let you watch your family grow up throughout. I mean, I know. You still want to think that there's the Old Testament and the New Testament when it's all one testament. You seem to think that Jesus said he was changing the law. He didn't change any laws. Just like, it makes no sense what these people do. So, anywho, Mary went to France, supposedly, right? This is what they say. But what if that's not where? What if America is where they came? What if America is where they came? And that's what the natives talk about, the holy people, the Dinet that came here. What if that's what they're talking about? Because they talk about a woman, a holy woman that came here. You see, and Rome knows these things. They keep everything in their little vault down there where we're not allowed to see any of it. We just have to believe what they say. Because man is unfallible, right? Man is just, everybody's perfect. What if there's much more to the story than they're willing to lead on to? Why is it? I mean, this is a pretty good question here too. Why is it that they have attacked women so bad? Not just any women. They've attacked white women like you would not believe. That's why those white women, them crazy bitches out there, they fucked up. Was that made for a purpose? Why is it that we can't go into parts of the Grand Canyon? These are things that need to be answered. But we won't get answers, just like we won't get answers on the Epstein files. It's just I heard a funny joke a few days ago, maybe a week or so ago. I have to tell you, I thought it was hilarious. What are the three things that can't hang themselves? Drywall, a picture, and Jeffrey Epstein. Anyways, he didn't hang himself. I gave you all the long explanations about Florida for a reason, because where did Pam Bondi come out of? She came out of Florida. She ain't giving up nothing. They probably got videos of her. What if Hunter's on a lot of those videos when he was a kid? What about my computer keeps going off and on. That means it's going to have the spinnies on it. What if... Motherfucker. What about Lindsey Graham? I'm just going to start. What about Ben Shapiro? Another one that's going to come out against Trump real hard. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but anywho. But what about these people? What else is going on? Ashley Biden's diary came out to be real, but what really happened to the mother and the other daughter that got in the car accident? What about the one son? Do you know that the one son that died of cancer, do you know that he was on a task force? Oh, what was it called? A task force for like pedophiles and hurt children and shit. What if he said, because he was a golden child, right? No drugs, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm just asking, what if he was actually going to come out against the family and everything, and then he died from cancer? So there's something else. My husband's a plumber, okay? And he was telling me the other day, which down in the descriptions you will see the bill, and something, I forgot what else he put down there. But anyways, it's in the description so you can read the whole bill yourself, and it's already been passed. It'll actually go into effect in 5 years from now, and that's in all of the states, because it's a federal bill. It's a federal law that got put in, and it's the for the U.S. Department of Energy has finalized new energy efficiency standards for residential water heaters, set to take effect on May 6, 2029. The 2030 set for implementation in 2029. Government mandate on water heater energy efficiency standards could affect homeowners in several ways. It's the 10C Department of Energy 10 CFR parts 429 and 430. Higher upfront cost. Heat pump and condensation units are significantly more expensive than traditional models. Installation costs may increase due to venting space or electrical upgrades needed. Disproportionate impact on fixed income. Elderly or low income homeowners could be hit hardest by mandatory replacement if their current unit fails after the standards go into effect. Retrofit capability. Older homes may require costly adjustments, e.g., added ventilation or rewiring to install compliant units. Space requirements may also be an issue. The heat pump unit are larger and need airflow clearance. Many condos and multifamily homes cannot support these upgrades. So, when everybody was talking about all the gas stove it keeps making noises over here. A tankless water heater or one of these hybrids, which are much larger because they had to add more insulation into them. And the tank inside that you hold your water is going to be smaller. So you're not going to be able to have the larger amount than before. So that 20-minute, 45-minute, however long you like to take a shower, you ain't doing it no more. And people are in lower income places, they're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to buy a new one because instead of it costing, like $3,000, I'm estimating, to put a hot water heater in right now, it's going to be way more than that. And the hot water heater companies, water heater. Jimmy's like, it says water heater. It's not hot water heater. Anywho. So your water heaters, the companies actually tried to comply and make the ones that they already had insulated better. But now they're going to have to go to a whole different kind because of stuff like the Green New Deal. Okay. All right. So Pam Bondi is a cunt. All right, let's just get the good words out while we can, because those are the words I like to use, and I especially like to use the word cunt towards other women too, because boy, do they not like it. And I don't care if you're my friend or not, to tell you the truth. I'm all right. The thing is not everybody's going to be the same. We've all been through different shit, and we don't all have to be the same. Why would we be the same? And that goes to this doctrine, religious doctrine that's been around everywhere. We're not all meant to be the same. And we're not meant to fall in line and my doctrine's better than your doctrine. Shut the fuck up, dude. And don't be surprised and or shocked when you find out that some of your largest churches and these people that you've put all of your energy into, and you find out the witchcraft. I mean, they say it right in front of you. Then you're like, oh, it's not witchcraft, Angela. It's most certainly the fuck is. It's witchcraft. You're going to shit yourself. I'm telling you this right now. Like, I gave a little, like, what's happening a few months ago. But I'll tell you again, things are never hidden in the darkness. You may thought that they were hidden, and you may thought that your MK Ultra worked on everybody, or it wasn't able to be broken. But some people wrote books about it. To help other people, like this book right here that I've already finished reading. You don't win. And you, disgusting. That's what they are. Disgusting men and women. There's a few women there. It's pretty gross. And what you thought that you could get away with. You thought that you could build you up something and do the ways of America. And that was the way that it should be so I could have a big name. And you thought that some of the shit that they made you do would never come out. It will. You see, you don't get to participate and do things to people and watch them in their houses, talk about them, have meetings, and think you're going to get away with it. See, I have faith and I believe in God. And I believe that God showed me things that he knew that I would never believe if anybody said it to me. People say things to me all the time. I used to go out all over the place and talk to all kinds of people. But this, what's been going on in these churches, and the manipulation, it's gonna stop. You're not gonna get away from it. And everything you built up, everything will be taken from you. And it'll be shown to the world. You will no longer say that people's seats can be taken because your doctrine's better than somebody else's. There was a covenant that was made with America, and it was broken, and it will come back into it'll be back. But the thing is that these people that are hiding and everywhere, they come and they smile to you at your face. They speak proper. They sit up straight. They wear their nice clothes. And I'm so much better and God only talks to me. But yet, I don't see world news or anybody else talking about healing or casting out of real demons. You don't see that. You see all these people who've made a platform for themselves to feed their egos. What must go up will come down. Children will be left the fuck alone after all this shit goes on. And the old people, you're going to leave them the fuck alone too. Your most popular churches, think about that. They've been on some of your conservative sites too. They like to say keywords and then, well, that's just something that's secret. But I'm going to tell. Yachts in Florida seem to get a lot of motherfucking play. Once again, I'll show you it. It's a book I just read. And it's to help people to remember things. I've also reading a lot more books too. You see, I hadn't been to Thomas Edison's house, Thomas Edison and Ford Estate over, what's the name of that road? Anyways, it was right over there in Fort Myers. And I said, well, I want to go over there. I want to check the place out. See what it felt like and everything. And, oh, excuse me. So, I was in one of the, everything's like a museum. So I was in one of the ones and it had all these photos and stuff. And it had a book. I didn't bring that book in here. Anyways, something about Cyrus Teed, which is Kershaw Park, which is a little bit further away. And I didn't know that they knew each other. And they did. So I went back to Kershaw Park, Kershan, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. And I bought these books. Hold on, there it goes. If you look down there, it's was written in, I can't see it backwards, 1936. And then this one was written, and it's about Cyrus Teed. Sorry. And this one was just written. This young lady just did a investigative story against him and wrote a book. So I stopped reading it and I started reading this one. And I found out a lot of interesting things about American history and about where this bigender shit comes from. And some people like to say that it just started in like the 1950s or 60s at Stonewall Jackson. I think that's what the name of it is. But here it is, that's why I brought my glasses so I could read it. It's a forward. I wrote a whole section about this damn lady. Maybe it's just Gemma Wilkinson. And then it goes on to the Universal Friends and goes through the years of the history of America. Well, Gemma Wilkinson, she pretty much died and came back alive because she got a real bad cold and the sickness and died. And then they think she was resurrected. with the friend inside of her, and now this friend is a man in a woman's body. So now she gets to act like a man. You see where I'm going with this? This is when the portals were being opened here. That was in 1777 in New York. They want this country, and they've been trying to take it for a long time. It's going to get rough, but that's how things get better. I know that's a hard teaching to get used to, but it's the truth. It's It's going to get super rough. They have already been affecting our food processing. Where all the storms are, it's getting flooded out, or it's getting wind damage, or there's just all kinds of things that are happening, and it's affecting the farms. Here in South Florida, we're in such a bad drought that a freaking dove flied into the, supposedly, there was a dead dove on the ground, but I think there was more stuff going on there. And a fire caught in my yard. You can look at the other video. My damn yard. If my neighbor wouldn't have been out, paying attention, that my house would have caught on fire. My chickens would be barbecued. Not in a good way. we're Anyways, there's a lot of history going on. In this particular book right here, I will be doing my own video on it, a separate one. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to talk about each individual that they put in here. And the brotherhood, which is the brotherhood of religion here in the United States of America and here in Florida, right up there in Plant City. Anywho, that was for them. And we need to learn more about this stuff because it's important. And it's important to see the progression that they have made in our country instead of just by little bits and pieces. This has been happening for a long time. And there's other people, like Native Americans, already are expecting things that are going on now. I'm done talking now. Been on here for about 40 minutes. I hope that everybody who has watch all the way through. I can see people coming off and on, but I don't know what any of that really does. I can't do the chat yet because I'm not fluid in this stuff, and I'm trying to learn. But I was very sick it was about a month. I had some kind of food poisoning. It was really strange. But I'm better now. And just know, I don't know if my ending's on here. My ending's not up here. And I don't have my commercial. Alright. Well, I can't. I just have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good morning. And always know. Just know this. You feel it in your bones, dude. You know that God loves you. And Jesus loves you. Jesus really loves you. You have no real clue. And you look at me and you say, how would you know? And I just have no answer for that. I can't find my little... Oh, there it is. Hold on. Just know that God really does love you. Jesus loves you. I'm not a religious person. They can't force me into being a religious person. I know how this world works. I've been through a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things. But that's here nor there. Just know that you're loved. Doesn't matter if you smoked crack, or it doesn't matter a lot of things. Just know that you're loved. All right? Next time my ending